Commander. Welcome back to another episode of Unrendered Ark. There we go. The textures are rendering now. Another episode of Ark Survival Evolved, right? Well, today we're going to do something special here. I live here in the fertile zone, right? Well, one thing I have a major problem with is getting metal. So today I'm going to show you guys the fastest way that I can think of to gather metal, and hopefully this will be some very good help for you guys. So we're going to go and check this out, see if this works out really well, and yeah, so stick around. Alright guys, so I have got a crab here and an ankylo, I've got a glow pet, and I've got about 6 weight ravagers. These are my elite mules and Joe's mules. And these guys are going to come with me. What we're going to do is we're actually going to walk all the way over to the blue area. Now you might be like, well, that's a long distance to go, but hey, I mean, how much metal can you really gather around here in that kind of time? Well, we're going to see how much time it takes us to get there, and also how much time it takes us to mine the metal there, because they have a lot more metal than we have over there. And so we can definitely farm a lot more. Also, Ravagers are going to do a lot of the work for me. I'm not going to have to fight too much. I think we're actually going to whistle them to neutral. And so whenever we run into Ravagers, the pack is going to pretty much take care of itself, which is going to be really, really helpful. Alright guys, so we have made it down here, and I'm going to give you a time right about now, which is how long it took us to actually get down here. And I don't know the time unfortunately at this moment, but there will be a time on the screen stating how long it took us to get down here. I don't feel like it took too long, and so far we haven't done too much mining, but we're down here mining. Now you will see the Ankh is in a little rough shape. I think that came with the territory of coming all the way down here. Gotta be really careful, and I wasn't that careful. I didn't even really think the Ankh would take some damage, so maybe a better Ankh than the one I've got. I'd heavily suggest a better Ankh just for the fact that you could break things a little faster instead of having to chop multiple times with your tail. It'd be nice to do one strike to rule them all kind of deal. But we're down here, we can mine, and we don't have to worry. We're just going to carry up the metal. We're not going to carry any of the stone back or anything like that. When we do find a plant Z, we are going to stop and recharge. Okay, there we go. Just kind of run around and gather metal. Target the little hot we have 6 Ravagers, semi-full with metal, and the reason why I say semi-full is because if I packed them full of metal, then they wouldn't be able to walk. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Ravagers all packed up, ready to go. We have a straight path to come up, and while this took a lot longer to get down here than it did take to get up, it was because I was lost a little bit. But I do want to point out one thing, and we're going to cross by them right here. You see these things right here? They are going to cause so many problems for you down here. Definitely get a very good aim with a lot of weight and a good melee skill, because all that is going to be very important. I had a lot of issues with, surprisingly, you would not expect a plant to prevent you from mining, but that plant had prevented me from mining so much, I had to keep clearing the plant in order to mine. So, a little fun fact there, if you're having trouble mining down here, that's exactly why. Those plants are what's doing it. But on the other note though, I mean, I have 1800 metal, 1700, I think about relatively 1700 metal on every one of these Ravagers, which will equal out to about 850 on the metal ingots. So each one of those are carrying 850 metal. They are not fully statted yet. They are running 5,000 health, and they are bred Ravagers, and they are said to come out with 5,000 health is what we're pumping to it, or what I'm pumping to it. I'm wanting to push them to 400 melee just for defensive reasons, and then after that, being that they're just mules, they'll load up on weight after that. That's all they need, and being in the package they are, it definitely gives them a very good buff. 6. I do want to keep watching just to make sure they're following, but they're not at all wimpy at this at all. I mean, they're carrying tons of metal home, much safer than maybe loading up a Quetzal, honestly, in a way. I didn't have any resistance down here at all. I don't believe I fought with anything but maybe one Arthropleura, and actually the Ravagers took care of that, so you kind of have a pack that's always protecting you. Put the crab on follow, and he'll protect you as you're walking all the way back. Just making sure we're clearing. This is about probably the most annoying part right here, is just trying to make sure that you clear without losing any of your Ravagers along the way. A buddy would be definitely helpful, maybe somebody to ride the Ravagers or to make sure follow the pack. And then once you get down here, have him swap out on top of the crab and then carry you around, or he in turn can be sitting on the ank and... Are you guys really? Or in turn, you can sit on the ank and he can do his thing. And you made a mistake getting caught. Okay, there we go. Other best thing about having the crab, the reason why you want to bring that crab along is this is the best mount probably to lead other than to carry, because you can't really get caught up on it. And that really is helpful, because it's not hard to get hung up on your following dinosaurs, or your following mounts, I should say, because they're not dinosaurs these days, they are. And this doesn't get you caught up on. And look at that, I can just keep walking if I wanted to, and they're gonna kill it. Earlier they ripped a level 100, a new one, like nothing, and then they just regroup and follow. So they might pick up a thing or two here as well, but you just kind of walk on, and I mean, look at that, where you're out. And now we just gotta make the trip home. Alright guys, so when we go ahead and decide to pull all the metal in here, we wind up with a whopping total of, let me get a calculator, about 11,000 ingots, and we brought, or not ingots, 11,000 metal, and we ended up coming out to 5,575 metal brought back to home. Now that might not sound like a lot, but when you live out in the fertile zone, there isn't a lot of metal laying around, and so you have to come up with ways to get that metal. Now, if you're like me and you don't have a buddy all the time to collect that metal, well, you have to go running around out here normally in the fertile zone. But rather than going to the fertile zone and harvesting up your metal that way and getting 300 from that set of rocks, 300 from those, 300 of those, and getting 1,000 and then having to go large distances to go get it in small amounts and hope you don't get attacked by millions of dinos, just go down to the blue area, pack a glow pet. A good glow pet would do you fine. I would suggest maybe get it up about 2,000, maybe a little more. Glow statistic to keep or the charge to keep you all good to go. He's done a wonderful job, I gotta say that. He stayed on all the time that I was down there. And yeah, just go down there and pick it up. I mean, it doesn't take that long. It's like doing a Quetzal run, basically, or doing a mountain run like a volcano run and collecting your metal. So, I mean, if you ever harvested the volcano on the island, that's what I pretty much did here. It's not perfect. With 6 Ravagers, I mean, if I had a buddy, it would have been a little faster. He could have rode the crab. We could have also pulled some more metal onto the crab. I didn't do that. But with these 6 Ravagers, yes, they have a very high weight stat, but because they're bred. But at the stage that I'm needing the metal at this point, you should already be breeding these guys anyway, and trying to find a good weight statted one. If you find a good weight statted one, keep that guy because you are gonna need him. Pump him melee, get him up to 100%. You probably don't even have to put the attack damage in there. Probably could go full weight and health only on these guys. That's probably the best route to go with them. And bring back 5,000, 6,000 metal. I mean, these guys were easily led across. You could bring back the entire horde. You could bring a horde of these guys to collect metal and just rake the entire blue area until there's no metal left, pretty much. I don't see a reason not to. I mean, especially as if you could do it. Then, of course, with the buddy holding you, carrying the crab, you could probably carrying the ant. You could probably go ahead and get a lot more metal much more efficiently than I did. I had to walk everywhere. When I got overweight, I couldn't keep walking. Well, the crab could have held me up, carried me over. I could have done all my swinging in a floating position and been carried by the crab, which the crab had a lot more weight than I did. See, at 11,301 versus my 6. I think, 533, not even that much. But guys, that's going to be it for this video. I have a lot of metal to forge now. Haven't had this kind of metal in a long time, so it's nice to see it at the base. It's going to make a lot of bullets. So, you guys take care.